Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about safety. So the other day I was given a ride, or I was waiting on someone, and as soon as the 5 minutes was up, so usually you have 5 minutes to come outside before your driver leaves, and so the 5 minutes had came, and so they have the little red mark that tells you it's time to go if the person doesn't come out. So before you can leave, you have to either call or text the person. And I think it's call. So I called the person and I let it ring for about 3 times. I didn't let it ring the whole time. And so I ended it. But as soon as I was driving off, the person came outside and they were upset, after I told them that I ended the ride and that I had another rider. So the point that I'm trying to with that situation, I understand the person being upset, but I also understand and want to make clear the situation that I was in. So I was in an unknown neighborhood. It was dark, and most importantly, um, it was the time was up. Even if somebody walks out right when the 5 minutes is up, if you're already in motion to leave, then they then come out in time. But the biggest thing is that my intuition told me that it was time to leave, and so that's what I wanted this video to be about. Is about safety. You'll talk to a lot of drivers. They sometimes just don't drive in certain neighborhoods at a certain time or at all. So you have the discretion as the driver to decide, even how long you want to wait. Because if you wait the full 5 minutes and you leave, you do get paid for that time. But if you wait just 2 minutes and you decide to leave for whatever reason, you don't get paid for that. But if you feel at any point in time unsafe, or if you feel like you're putting yourself in a dangerous situation, then you just leave. If you feel like you may not trust the rider, and I didn't necessarily feel that way, but I did have something tell me, well, the 5 minutes is up. Let it ring 3 times, and if no one answers, then just leave. So as the riders, they have to think about the situations that they're putting the drivers in. A lot of times, also even beyond safety, well, kind of with safety, but also from a traffic point of view, we're parking or waiting for people on busy streets, especially when we're picking them up at hotels downtown. A lot of times we're blocking traffic and having to put our blinkers on. It's a lot of very inconvenient situations, and so it really doesn't sometimes make sense to wait the whole 5 minutes if you're holding up traffic, or if you have cars zooming on you on the left or right side. As I said, in my particular situation, I was, and it was getting late. It was pretty dark. I couldn't, it wasn't like a lot of lighting on the street that I was in, and it was kind of like one of those streets where there's cars parked on both sides. So if another car was coming through, I would have had to either back up or drive kind of like into the space on the right side so that I wouldn't block the entire street. So it was already an inconvenient type of situation, but ultimately I didn't feel safe waiting longer than 5 minutes. I usually will wait a little bit longer, or I'll usually call twice or call once and let it ring the entire time. But something just told me to just drive off, and it just so happened that as soon as I was driving off, the person was coming outside. But by that time, it was too late. So don't feel bad if you ever decide to drive off. Don't feel like, that person can always get another ride. But if something were to happen to you, you know, would you be able to mitigate that? Like if anything were to happen to you, they can get another driver, but you can't get another you if something was to happen to you. And that's another car hitting you because you're parked in a dangerous spot. That's being robbed. That's all of the things that can happen. Someone getting in your car that it's not supposed to, because people are watching. People are sometimes, especially if you're picking up in the same neighborhood, people start to notice you. um, And I think I said this in a previous video, I've been in a lot of situations, dropping people off, picking people up, where I've, witnessed some unsafe situations, like people having guns pulled out on them, um, people arguing, couples arguing with other couples, things where looking back on it, I really wasn't in a safe situation. So don't ever put yourself in a situation where you feel unsafe, or where you have to um, wait on someone, for instance, and they may have their bags in your car, and they go off somewhere, and now you have to wait another 2 or 3 minutes. Like, make it clear the type of relationship you want to have with your riders. So set some boundaries going forward, before you even start rideshare driving, so that you can know how to respond when something happens. Like, for instance, if somebody is coming out, they need to be coming out with everything, like their bags. Unless it's like during the daytime, or if you're in a crowded area, you really have to assess the situation. But yeah, just always go with your intuition. If you don't feel safe, then just don't take the ride, or just tell the person that you can't take it. And people may get upset, but you have to look out for you first, because you have to deal with other drivers, you have to deal with the person in your car, you have to deal with weather. So there's a lot of ways that safety can be compromised, and the last thing that you want is to have someone in your car that's making you uncomfortable. And I've recently read too, not to put anybody in fear, because most of the time I do feel safe with rideshare. But I've read articles, I've talked to other drivers where things have happened. I myself, like I said, have been in situations where I picked up people where during the ride, I didn't feel as safe. And looking back on it, I see what I could have done differently. But this, like, really, guys, if you don't feel safe, don't feel bad about just ending the ride. Or if you are in in an awkward driving, just drive off, and that person, they can live, will find them someone else. Even if you don't wait the full 5 minutes, you have to, kind of assess, based on how you feel about it. But yeah, I'm gonna do another video about this, and maybe have some tips and tools about some things that you can have, as far as like for your safety. I do know that specifically when it comes to like gun laws, like gun protection, it depends on the state. So I know where I am is you don't have to have a license to carry. So you do want to think about that. Like, if you feel comfortable doing that, you you know decide whether or not that's something you would want to have, and just think about that. But yeah, this is one of many videos, because safety, if nothing else, is the most important aspect of rideshare driving, whether that's talking about from a weather standpoint, or from a ride rider standpoint, or if that's talking about a traffic standpoint. Safety is the crucifix. So I hope this helps. um but as I said, I will upload some more videos about this, and I hope that if you all are interested in listening more, that you subscribe to my channel, Lost Art 2839, and I will see y'all later.